What makes a good at bat?
They go to the plate, they're balanced.
That's right.
They make the pitcher work.
He makes a pitcher work, and he doesn't glory swing. He doesn't try to get a home run every time.
Right.
He just knows how to hit, and what does that mean? They get to full counts, they foul a lot of balls off, and even if they're not getting on base, they're advancing a runner. And so, a good at bat doesn't necessarily mean get up there and hit the ball out of the park. In the New Yorker, David Denby wrote an article specifically talking about Jackie Robinson's hitting. And this is the way he described it. He said, he stood close to the plate and held the bat high. As the pitch came in, he pulled the bat down, angled it parallel to the ground, and took a level swing. A swing very different from the homer-seeking, flailing uppercut that has become standard among current players, who have produced the highest strikeout numbers in baseball history.
Yes.
And Robinson, in fact, didn't strike out much, and his career hitting average was .311. But this level swing, I don't see anymore.
This is the whole strike zone right here. Can you see? Strike zone. And
K-zone.
K-zone. If a pitcher tosses one right here, the Dodgers are fouling them off.
Right.
They're not taking advantage of the mistake.
Ted Williams, who was considered one of the greatest hitters, Ted Williams was the last person to hit 400 in a season in 1941.
Well, and he wrote a book called The Science of Hitting, and his philosophy was, it's not how you swing, it's what you don't swing at. To him, the most important thing about hitting was knowing the strike zone.
Right, you've got to make the pitcher get it in this little box.
Yes, a good at bat is if you take advantage of the mistake.
Capitalize on the pitchers making mistakes. That's it. That's part of a good at bat.
Yes.
In the last 20 years, how many teams with the most home runs during the regular season have gone on to win the World Series?
One. Just one.
Only one?
The Yankees in 2009.
Wow.
But before we got to 2009, we started with 1995.
Right. In 1995, the Cleveland Indians had by far the most home runs during the season.
Yes, they did. Let's see. They had 207 home runs.
And they actually got to the World Series that year.
They did, but guess what? They lost to Atlanta, who only had 165 home runs.
Right. And in 1996, the Baltimore Orioles had the most home runs, and they got to the playoffs, but they lost. And in 1997, same with the Mariners. They got to the playoffs, and they lost.
They did.
But what we found was, overwhelmingly, teams that have the most home runs during the regular season didn't even make the playoffs. In fact, many had losing records.
Yeah, 99 Seattle, Houston, the Rangers for 3 years in a row, 2001, 2, 3. But what I'm noticing is the number of total home runs have gone up from 1998 into 2003 and 4.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
Lots of home runs.
Well, anyway, that's another show.
And home runs are exciting and they're great, but we have to play fundamentally sound baseball, right?
It's the fundamentals and it's execution.
Situational hitting.
Yes.
And not leaving guys on base. And so
we got to bring them home. I mean, there's other ways to bring people home other than a home run. Now, a home run at the apropos time?
Right.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
We're not dissing the home run.
But we cannot sustain with just being first in home runs.